I just did that because Dale can only hear out of one ear. So I want to be extra loud in that ear, folks. You're welcome to the main event. We are back. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he's only going to hear me out of one ear today. I don't know if that's good or bad. Dale Hillistrate, everybody.
Well, no ears, one ear, whatever. I just want to make sure I can hear Steve. And I got to say, I mean, other than the neighborhood hasn't changed.
It's a fine neighborhood. It's a fine neighborhood. Everybody else I texted was like, oh, this is exciting. And then Dale's like, I'm bringing my bulletproof vest.
Right before I get on the 51 to head south, I put my bulletproof glass on and head down here. No, it's you guys have done some nice improvements.
Yeah,
You're working all weekend.
Yeah, well, periodically. So we could have gone live yesterday, but there was some weird echoes and things like that. So we wanted to do some more. Like we have a barn door now that kind of cuts down the echo a little bit more and stuff like that. So we just decided to do it right and take yesterday off. And plus, folks, I got sick yesterday. I got all stuffy. So I figured one more day off wouldn't hurt the voice and all that stuff as well. But yeah, that's nice, Dale. And I don't think it's done yet either. I think we have some more small stuff to do. Like fix this light above my head. It's ridiculous.
Oh, boy. You say be proud of your baldness.
I'm going to be sunburned by the time I'm done here today.
Be proud of being bald, and I'm going to show it off.
I'm going to blind everybody with this. Well, it's like this light right above me. I should just do this. We'll play with it right now. People are probably freaking out. There we go. A little bit better. But then it develops shadows. It's a whole thing you got to do in here. But welcome to the, I don't know how long they'll be temporary, Dale, but welcome to the temporary studios of TME Media.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with doing it from here, but you continue like to be a nomad.
It's the space. We might need some additional space here coming up, depending on your boy later on when we talk to him. And other people.
You got a lot of people pursuing you, Steve.
I know. It's annoying. I should just tell them all to F off.
It's annoying. I would think that's a good thing.
It's too much stress. Too much stress in my life. Just kidding.
So I haven't seen you since Thursday night.
Thursday night. We went to Steak 44.
Yes.
I know. You never talk. You never write. You never text. Thursday night, we survived the dinner. We are such dudes, though. That when we decided to do a picture, half of us had already left.
A third of us.
Yeah, a third of us.
And I'll out myself a little bit because we were going to take a picture outside. Didn't say anything, but Steve and I went to the restroom after dinner.
I had to get out of there. That place gets claustrophobic city quickly, man.
It was very crowded. We're talking about Steak 44.
Yep.
So first of all, we'll get the ending, and then we'll tell you the beginning. But I think that we told Coop, hey, we'll meet you out front. We're going to run to the bathroom. And Coop is kind of used to me going to the restroom at the studio.
Yeah.
And Steve and I are just going to do number one, and then we're going to meet him. Well, Bruce already left.
Yeah. He was gone. Oop. Sorry about my computer. Yeah, he just got up and left.
He just left. We didn't get a picture with him or anything like that, but it was.
Sorry, Dale.
What are you doing?
I don't know what's happening. Okay, now you can go. I don't know what's happening. Everything's different for some reason.
Coop paid his bet off in full, plus.
He wouldn't take any money from me, which I'm a little upset about.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just mooching.
No, I had cash there. I slip him some cash and everything for my portion of it and everything. But no. We're gonna do a couples night out with him and his wife.
Good.
So that's
Thanks
how we'll
for
make
the
it
invite. I appreciate it.
Said you? I didn't say you weren't going to be invited.
But anyway, that was nice of him because I can tell you that if it was the other way around and I had lost,
that was a lot of money.
and I lost. You're pitching in, big boy.
But didn't it make you feel better? Like, okay, people, when you have a bet being paid off, right? And you show up and you're like, okay, I'm going to get what's the cheapest thing on the menu? Like all of that. And Coop's the one going, I'm going to get this. Oh, let's get some of this. And let's get some of this. And let's get some of this. And next thing you know, like, I can't eat anymore, man. I got a steak coming my way on top of everything else.
So to paint the picture, number one, bad start, bad protocol. I got caught up in something and I was running late.
What was that something? You never
And
said.
I'm going to keep it's a family matter, so I'm just going to keep it at that. I was running late.
I just wanted to see if you'd out.
Yeah, I was running late. Actually, I was golfing with my son-in-law Scott,
Yeah.
his dad and uncle. So
Yes, you were doing you were squeezing in golf before dinner
yes,
with family.
because we had an early dinner. It's hard to get reservations there.
5:00.
So so they're there. I texted them and said I apologize profusely. I'm gonna be a little bit late.
You did not say you apologize profusely.
I said I feel really bad. I'm running
Yeah,
late.
you said that.
Profusely while you're driving is kind of hard to text.
I don't even know how to spell that.
And so I get there, never been to Steak 44, didn't know exactly where it was. Obviously did maps.
It's a weird place because it's a fancy place, but it's like in a strip mall.
Yes.
So it's really weird. Right across from the 4G Performance Center, if you don't know.
And see, I'd never
there.
seen that before either.
Oh, you haven't been up there for that?
No,
That's where the Suns practice
yeah,
and everything?
that's pretty spectacular. So I parked the car valet, walk in. No, I'm running. I think I was about 15 minutes late.
Now, we sat down 15 minutes late. They sat us 15 minutes late because we were finally like, yeah, we'll just sit down and wait. And we probably sat down 10 or 12 minutes out, and we were probably there 5-6 minutes. Because then it was that awkward thing where it was just me and Coop. So, like, all right, well, we'll put Dale on this side because, you can't move at all. So we'll put Dale over here. But I'm not sitting next to Coop in the booth side by side until you get there. So it was this awkward, they kept coming by, because of those types of places. They just come by constantly to make sure you want to do something. And it's just this awkward, I'm going to move over there when our other guy shows up kind of a deal. And it felt like forever, Dale. It felt like forever of me just sitting there waiting for you.
Then I show up. Now I check in with the maitre d', and I say, "Do you have a table for Bruce Cooper?" And the girl looks at me. And she's like, "Is this Victor?"
Vic Cooper, I think is what it was.
Victor Cooper. I said
because he kept saying his name was Vic, and I was all like, "What?" And I didn't think anything of it till you showed up.
And I'm like, "No." His name's Bruce. I started going, does he think he's that famous that he needs to?
Oh, he uses an alias.
Vic Cooper.
Well, you don't want people coming around.
So tomorrow you need to introduce him.
Yeah.
Is that today?
It's today. Yeah, today's Tuesday. It's either Dave and Vic now is what we got to call him now. He's got multiple names. But I think we just outed his pseudonym.
He's got to change it. And so I finally figured that out.
We could hear you. We weren't too far away, but we could hear you. And he's like, Dale's here.
Really?
Like, we could hear you. But I could hear you more when you stopped at the bar to talk to that guy.
That was Trip.
Dale got a known there walking through there. They were like, Dale.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Trip, who runs Hubbard Radio over there, the big dog that runs Hubbard Radio over like 3 states or something.
Yes,
saw you and everything, and Dale's all like, "What? Somebody noticed me here?"
No, I just said, "Gosh, I keep my head down." I want to get back there, but anyway, so I finally get back to Coop's table, and Steve's there, and there's 10 shrimp cocktail, 8 shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, he wanted to order the big one too.
I mean, these things had to be 2 pounds each.
They were huge. These were not small.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he wanted to order the large one, and I was like, Coop, I got to eat a giant steak, buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to eat a ton of that. I got a big dinner coming my way.
I appreciate you doing that because we couldn't have eaten any more.
No. Even with those sides, you kept going, I want this side and this, and I'm like, I'm just gonna eat that mashed potatoes and shrimp side in my steak because it got to the point.
And shrimp.
And then our tables were so close to the people next to us.
Yeah,
they're like, I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, I'm not getting up and walking out. I'm gonna trip over this table. My butt's gonna go in this poor girl's face.
You had a pretty girl sitting.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. I was like, I'm gonna trip on her. My butt's gonna go in her face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, and her dad was sitting across from her, and I'm just like, I know, because I could hear their whole conversation.
Now, but mind you, this is about a 35-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And her
no, it's not a young girl. Yeah, and so I'm just like sitting there. So like, you guys are like, ready to go? And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta get out of here.
Great ambiance, great experience. Had a
place.
lot of fun.
Your first time there, right?
First time there, recommended highly.
My first time in that area of the restaurant before I'd sat in that main area, and it just got really tight in there.
Really?
Like when I got up to walk out, I was just like, don't bump into people.
Yeah. Turn sideways.
But even then, with people at the bar, I'm like, can I squeeze through you guys here? Like I'm like begging people to get by them. The bathroom thing's the weird thing though about that place, and I forgot all about it until I got there. It's men's and women's bathrooms.
Yeah.
And there's like, 6 of them, 8 of them, something like that. So literally there's like girls lined up to go into these things. And you're going in and you're like, oh my God. Weird. And then you walk out and they're all staring at you. Weird.
Are you going to wash your hands?
It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird feeling.
Great. It was a fantastic experience. Coop, thank you. Sometimes you have to pull teeth to get guys to pay their bets.
Good, man. He's so bored in his retirement that he was like, let's do it again.
And you know what? We talked about a myriad of different things. Obviously, a lot of sports stuff
yes,
and all that.
Coming up. We got to get caught up on everything we did before. Of course, Coop coming in at 9:00 today. We'll talk a lot of local stuff, a lot of combine stuff with him coming up our way as well. So
the one thing that I thought was a great question. Who were the most popular athletes that he covered?
Yes. That was
and
fascinating.
the ones that he
What's fascinating about that is if you don't know, media has changed so much in professional sports now after COVID.
Yeah.
You don't get those as a media person. You don't get those personal relationships with people like you used to. Like the NBA highly restricts who can talk to players and stuff to that effect. You have to be a beat writer, basically, stuff like that. You don't get those personal relationships like you used to.
Right.
So to hear those stories were fascinating. Because back when he was talking about his show that he did on Channel 12 there with Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Game Time with Barkley or whatever.
Back in the 90s.
Like, they were like best buds because they were just constantly together and working together and stuff. So that doesn't happen today.
No.
So it was fascinating hearing those stories. Like even if you go into the Diamondbacks locker room, it's very protective. It's you have to ask permission to talk to people. You can talk to them at their locker, and then you're like gone. And back in his day, man, you could sit in there and just sit down with them, talk to them, everything, and hang out with them for hours on end and stuff like that. So it is amazing to hear how the industry's changed over the years.
And
I still can't believe Matt Williams wasn't the worst guy on the planet. I'm shocked by that.
And see, I completely forgot everybody said that until we'd say it out loud.
And
today,
I won't say his. I'll just tell you, it wasn't Matt Williams, and I was floored by this.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. And the thing about Coop, no matter how hard I tried, especially when I was working with him a lot, I couldn't find one person to say a disparaging word about him.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. We should go to the people that he said he struggled with, and we should get their side of it. And what's fascinating, because we can't say this story out on air because we'd be outing somebody that used to be in the local media that we shouldn't out. But that story there with how he thought somebody was like, hey, he could be thinking you're this person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we gotta get a hold of that. We got to flesh that story out a little bit. It's so great. But no, it was a great time. Good evening out. A fascinating place to go. And that place just rock and rolls. That was a Thursday night.
Jam-packed.
Bar
was packed.
It was packed at 5, and then it just got busier and busier and busier. What time did we leave? Like 7:30 or so?
Yeah.
And it was just, people were, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah.
People are like, let's go out. My favorite part was, because they pulled up my Chevy and that thing, and I was joking around a little bit. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Dale, what you got, the Lambo today or what? Whatever. And then it was hot. It got hot in there too. It got hot in there. So I was like sweating.
Well, you wore a jacket.
I know. Well, because I wore jeans.
Oh.
But I didn't wear jeans. And then some snotty-nosed punk kid shows up in just nice jeans and just a polo shirt. And I was all, I could have done that. But it's too late now to take it off.
Well, your jeans weren't necessarily nice jeans.
Perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with those jeans. They were nicely pressed, looking nice. But but it was funny because then the guy's like, he goes, man, people have been complaining it's hot in there. So I'm talking to the valet guy, And I'm like, yeah. I go, yeah, it's kind of warm in there, and blah blah blah. And he goes, man, you ever been to Buco de Chow down the road? And I'm like, oh, of course, never been there. He starts naming restaurants. I'm like, yeah, right. That place is kind of warm too, right? Like they're trying to save on their AC bill. I have no idea what restaurants this guy's talking about. I don't frequent the North Scottsdale restaurant scene very often.
Well, this is one North Scottsdale.
Well, it's Phoenix technically, but Scottsdale, Phoenix, or whatever.
Paradise Valley.
But I don't frequent that area. Yeah, it's right down the road from here, Dale. And you're knocking this area.
Yeah.
Oh, rock and hit it.
There's a lot of difference between Thomas and Camelback along this corridor.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best here to turn around this area and make it like that up there. So it's just funny. I'm like giggling as I'm getting, and then they're asking me all these questions. Meanwhile, like a Tesla's in front of me. You know, there's really nice BMW electric vehicles and behind me, and they're asking me all these questions about my Chevy Blazer electric vehicle.
Hey, how much your power bill go up every month?
Yeah, they're like, what's about the tech on this compared to the Teslas? I'm like, it's lesser tech than the Teslas, but similar stuff, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, it was so nice of them to think they cared about my Chevy.
It was fascinating. This happened to me. This is like 2 weeks ago. We went to the Scottsdale Quarter, which is across from Kierland.
Yeah.
And they have
another step up.
And they have, and I didn't want to go there, met some people there, and they have valet parking. And they kind of park the nicer cars in a little loop right on the other side of valet parking. And for about 10 minutes, my car was there.
Yeah, right in the front.
Right there. I could see it. We were eating in that culinary dropout area or whatever. I've seen it. Boy, all right, so I'm feeling pretty good about my car. I think I went to the bathroom. I came back. It's gone.
Yeah.
Lambo. Mercedes.
The best part was though when I pulled in, because I had a computer. We were moving that day, so I had the computers in my car. So I go, hey man. When I pulled in, I go, hey man, because I know where the valet's at. There, it's kind of in the back. And I go, hey man, I got a couple computers in the back there. They're gonna be safe back there. Basically insinuating, hey, park it close, would you? He's like, oh no, it'll be fine back there. We've never had any problems back there. I was like, okay.
We've never had problems, meaning there's always a first time.
Look, if they're breaking into my Chevy Blazer when they had all those G-Wagons and stuff there, then the thieves have other problems they got to worry about. Robert says, at TME Sports Show, the fair-skinned guy with the beige background, just a personal preference, but need more of a contrast. Dark shirt works, though. Yeah, we got to work on that. I know. We got to work on the lighting and me just in general.
Can we make you invisible and just a voice come out?
We actually can. That is a possibility. Unlike yours, mine are real bricks. So we actually have things like curtains that we're trying out and stuff. They just didn't work the way I wanted to. So, folks, we're going to keep working on it here. But, we're trying new things here with backgrounds and everything. So bear with us.
We can go through the weekend, but the top off Thursday, great experience. Appreciate Coop. We had fun.
Yeah.
Ate a lot.
I don't think I ate until Friday afternoon.
Yeah. It was a lot. So thank you, Coop, and go U of A.
That's my favorite part was Dale announcing. I saw a couple of head turn when he said it, like, U of A fans? I'm like, no, stop it. Leave us alone. We're not talking about this right now. No, but we did sit down. They go, you guys celebrating a special occasion? And Coop's like, I'm paying off a bet. It's so great. The guy's like, what? Really? Okay. Seems to be the place. But, yeah, no, it was good. That was Thursday night.
Yep.
Then, of course, Friday off. You golfed on Friday. Did you win any money?
I did not actually golf Friday.
What?
I had a bunch of errands to run. Golf Thursday, which is an oddball day for me.
Yeah, that was a different. Can't do 2 days in a row.
But,
you're like Jalen Green.
The only difference is I'm 63 and Jalen Green's 23. Wow.
But Graham Tate had. I've been waiting to ask this all time. First T-ball game on Saturday morning in his Arizona Diamondbacks gear.
Actually, it's coach pitch this year.
How'd he do?
This year, he's got a hit every at bat. Obviously, in a real game they wouldn't all be hits, but a few of them when he hits the ball,
Yeah, exactly. Right to somebody.
yeah, that or almost out of the infield. But
yeah.
we also had a learning moment
Ooh.
for Graham Tate.
Ooh, good or bad learning moment.
Well, so what they do is I think you get 5 pitches from the coach.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit it, then they bring the tee
tee
out,
out, yeah,
and then you
that
get to
level.
hit it off the tee. And evidently, Graham was out of first base playing defense, and one of their players missed 5 balls, so they go get the tee to bring it out. And evidently, he says, "Quit wasting our time. Hit the ball."
Oh, he was bored. He's like me. He gets bored at baseball. I don't see what the learning moment is.
So
Every parent in there went, thank God somebody said it.
Quit wasting our time. He's 5.
I know. I say, what else is he doing?
He's 5.
He's out there playing with dirt.
Oh, and obviously, Dad got him. The opposing coach said, talked to him a little bit and said, "Hey, we don't disparage other kids and all that." And I said,
Wait, did the coach say it to Graham or did he say it to the coaches?
No, he said because he's coaching first base.
Yeah.
Graham's playing first base, and he heard Graham say it, and I said, "Hold on, do you think Graham at 5 years old knows he's talking smack?"
No, he had no idea.
No, he just
He was bored.
right. He just said, "You hit the ball. It's easy."
Graham goes up there and hits it hard on the first ball. He's just like, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Let's go.
And so that was the highlight of that because the rest of it, everybody gets a hit. Everybody goes to first base, second base, third base, runs home, and you're all done.
The Robert says, Graham is all of us. That's one of those where you go, you knock that off right now. Fist bumps. We'll talk about that later. You walk out all excited. Oh, that's hilarious. But he did good then. Coaches pitch is hard because coaches don't always throw balls in the right areas.
No, and anyway, it's difficult. But hey,
it used to crack me up when I'd watch that stuff, like when Ireland played softball and I'd be watching it. You'd always hear a coach pitcher go, "My bad,
yeah.
I threw that wrong. Don't worry about it." It's like what?
Yeah, they had a couple coaches come through, and one of them was like eye high every pitch, and it's like,
yeah, give the kid a chance. Try to do walk him.
Throw a little curveball in there.
Ah, geez. So that was your Saturday, and then yesterday, what did you do with your day off yesterday? He doesn't even know. He's asked to think about it.
Went and worked out, got my rehab in, picked up Graham from school.
Typical Monday stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you? I want to know about
I did a whole lot of nothing this weekend.
Nothing.
Just came by here. Kobe and Riley were hard at work at this place and everything. So came by, check on them, did what I could do, which isn't a lot.
No stress over the weekend?
No. Normal stress stuff.
Okay.
Normal stuff. Nothing crazy. And then I'm trying to think, what the heck did I do this weekend? So that's how fast it went.
Now, are you able to sleep in?
No. I slept in a little bit. I think I woke up at 7 on Sunday.
Well, you were so excited from
that was the day I woke up a little stuffy.
From the demolition chamber.
Well, that was Saturday night. My gosh. That was the thing. Saturday night. Okay, so I had an Elimination Chamber, UFC, which was a dud. I did win a plus 290 odd there. That was exciting, though.
But did you take Lou's bet or you took your own?
Lou said he favored him on Thursday and everything and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw $5 on him. 120, I think, what it was. 219 something on top of it. So I won that one. But overall, I thought it was kind of a boring fight card, which we thought going into it. Lou had said that going into it. So I had that. I had the Elimination Chamber on as well. There, I had the O'Reilly NASCAR race on also there. I was a busy guy.
Now, Izzy posted something, I think, on Twitter or whatever.
He does his Hill Turn podcast. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He said that he used to be afraid of the Elimination Chamber. Like, it looks scary.
Yeah. Well. Okay. He's from Hammond, Indiana. That's not the scariest thing he's dealing with in his life.
I just don't know what.
Literally, they just go in this container, and then the doors open up, and you see who's in there, and they come out.
But you don't know until the door opens.
No, well, you generally know, but there was one surprise and stuff like that. Yeah. No, they make it kind of scarier type of stuff. Like they used to have one Hell in a Cell that everything was like red, like blood. The whole the screen was red. That was more scary than that.
I can't believe grown men.
It was that was even kind of a boring deal. It was in Chicago. The CM Punk match was pretty good. But he's from Chicago, so I was like, he's gonna win this. So it kind of takes like a secondary part out of it, but it was a fun little match to watch. Overall, I felt that was kind of boring as well. Yeah, it was kind of a boring Saturday night. Not gonna lie to you guys, from that perspective.
Watched a little bit of golf. Watched a little bit of college basketball.
You saw the meltdown in golf?
My goodness gracious!
I did not watch any of it, but I saw his post-match interview. Speaking of life lessons, that dude was broken-hearted.
His wife and young kid were out there following. We're talking about Shane Lowry.
Yeah, Lowry.
Just cruising. I mean, he was just fairways and greens, make a putt or two putt, fairways and greens. And all of a sudden he gets to, I think it was 15.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
And there's water all down the right side, so he takes an iron out because these guys control irons better than driver.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
They have them set up differently than we do, too.
And he proceeds to put his tee shot in the water.
Yeah. I saw a thing where somebody did everybody's tee shot on hole 16, and everybody was all weekend long was left.
Oh yeah.
And then like literally like this way over there, and then Shane Lowry was down here. Like he just did.
It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't
even close.
The second he hit that thing, you were like, "Oh Lordy!"
And so he had a 3-stroke lead going into that.
Yeah.
And he finished double.
Yeah. 2-hole meltdown is what you can call it there. Yeah, I didn't realize he had done that yet. And then I just happened to catch it. It was either live or right after it was live. And I was like, the heck did he do?
Yeah.
I went back and I was like, oh.
Again, whenever we talk golf, I always talk about some of my experiences. Trust me, I'm a 15 to 20 handicap. So these things happen to me all the time. When I see that happen to them in a situation like that, that's crazy.
It's especially the last 2 holes. You think you could just like take a deep breath and be like, and then get out of it. But it just compounded on top of it. So that was the Cognizant Open or whatever. Cognizant Open. Yeah, and then your family's there. Your wife's
4-year-old daughter's at her first golf tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's her first match. And then daughter's like, Daddy, you supposed to do that?
Wow. Is that a good thing you hit in the water?
So he ends up tied second because of all of that. He goes, and then the leader, of course, what did he win by? -5, I think, right? I'm looking it up here. Yeah, -5 is where he finished at as well for him. And then
who are you talking about?
The guy that won that tournament.
Nico Echeverria.
Yes. Yeah, good job.
He was -17.
Oh, for the whole tournament. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking at just the day.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, everybody. First time here. I was trying to pull it up. Trying to be cool about it.
And just again,
everything's different today, folks.
And again, just so people understand, when we talk about golf, those of you who don't kind of understand the money part of it, Echeverria finished -17. He won $1.728 million. In second place, there were 3-way tie. They each won $700,000. So $1 million difference.
And he was in the lead with 2 holes to go.
Yeah.
He teed off as well.
Plus, you get FedEx points, and you win the tournament, you get into the Masters. You win the tournament, you get into this.
Well, that was a bigger thing. Was your Masters was on the line on this one, right?
Yeah. Well, I think Shane already has his qualifications, but neither here nor.
Has he won there? Is he
He
qualified?
hasn't won, but I think he's qualified. Yeah.
I get all confused with all the live stuff and the qualifications. Man, my head hurts from all of that stuff as well. Today is happy NFL franchise tag window, by the way. Closing day, by the way, today, folks. 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Dale's by his phone. If Dale has to take a phone call, because he's getting tagged. He's going to have to take it, folks.
Boy.
We're going to have to bear with him out there. The big thing on the combine, we're going to talk more combine when Bruce gets here, but the big thing about the combine was imagine going to the combine and being measured, and your arms are only 43-inch reaches, 42-inch reaches. And then you're just falling down everybody's draft boards because you only have 42 inch. That happened over the weekend on top of it. How embarrassing. They knew it was 42 inches. Why would you set them up and let them go into that situation is my question.
Who were we talking about? It's got to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah, that guy that was supposed to go to the Cardinals, Fano.
Oh, the Miami guy.
Yeah, 42-inch arm reach. And everybody went, ooh! They're like erasing him off their draft board because he's a tackle. And, because guards are the ones you draft high in the first round, and you pay a lot of money to, not tackles. So there was some thought that he could also play guard. And then he measured in at 40. And everybody's like, you can't have a guard at that. Yeah, what was your arm reach?
I have no idea.
Do we need to measure it?
I have no idea.
Can you imagine?
And just so you understand, again, I think some of these measurements are absolutely asinine. Can you play football or can you not play football? But understand something as an offensive lineman, your arms and your arm reach, all right, that's when you can meet a defensive lineman. Yeah. And if your arms are shorter, that means he's get more into your body. When he makes contact, that means he can grab you, pull you, shake you, things like that. So that's where that comes into play.
Yeah. So Cardinals need another number 3 pick, Dale.
Boy, I did see over the weekend a couple mock drafts talking about Jeremiah Love.
Okay. Did you see his comment? We're going to bring this up to Bruce. What did they do on the turf? Did they do something different to the turf in Indianapolis? Because those guys were flying. A couple of those Arizona kids were just phew.
Really?
Like what? Did they do something to the? I know at one time they did do something to the turf. They put it over like the basketball court or something that they had down there, and it actually sped it up. But those guys were quick. It was like every time I was watching it, every time I like heard something, it was like, oh, another record, another record, another record.
All I know is I watched about 5 minutes of it.
I just had it on because we were just listening.
It might have been Sunday, and they're doing defensive line drills. And I'm like, as a player, I'm always the guy, put me in a drill that's going to translate to a game.
I saw one guy, which was totally unfair. They did the drop back surprise drill where you go backwards, and then they like surprise you with which way the ball goes, and you're supposed to react to it. And this dude sucked at it. And I was like, that guy's terrible. And then I was like, oh, he's a defensive lineman. He won't have to do that in a game at all. Like, what are you doing that drill for on guys that aren't going to do that in a game?
One of the drills of defensive linemen, what they had to do was there were 4 dummies on the ground. Boom, 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 over. Boom, 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 back. Then you went back and forth in between them, and then he made you cut one way or another. And I said, understand something. In a football game, as a defensive lineman, you might step over one guy. You ain't stepping over 4.
You're taking on every offensive lineman. You're like
gone.
You're like John Wick out there. You're taking out all 5 linemen and getting to the quarterback.
The ball's gone.
No, I know. It was ridiculous. I felt sorry for that one kid that they did that to because he obviously would know. But then he's projected as like a really good defensive lineman,
right?
Because of his pass rushing skills, his run blocking skills. And I'm like, well, that's not a skill point. So why go out and embarrass the guy like that? I guess. But I also heard after a lot of the offensive lineman drill, I didn't know this. A lot of the offensive line drills happen, and then they go to him privately and they say, "Hey, can we see you snap the ball?" So like if they're an offensive tackle, never played center before, they'll go to him and say, can we just see you snap the ball to see if it's something they can naturally do? Because obviously you want somebody that can play multiple positions or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if you're doing that privately, why don't they just set up a drill for that on that type of a deal to see?
Why are you going to put a guy who maybe can't snap?
Well, that was the thing. So I was actually reading that most offensive linemen go into this thing. Like for the last month, like I said, they're an offensive tackle. For the last month, they've been practicing like on the left side. and they've been practicing like as a center and stuff like that. So they at least have the basic ability to do it. So when they get there and somebody asks, you go, absolutely, I can do that. And then it just says, okay, he's willing to try to do it. I have a feeling it's more he's willing to try to do it than it is he good at it at that point. But even the top level guys, I was reading, the top level guys go in and do that type of stuff just to show how versatile you are. And it's like, what are we doing?
Well, the key to that point is what you just said for the last month or 6 weeks. A lot of these guys, since the end of their regular season, they've been working on combine drills.
Yeah, there was one guy who said that for the last month he's been snapping the ball, shotgun, and then also under center because he'd never played center a day in his life.
Right.
But his agent was like, they're going to ask you to try to do it. So let's, work on this. Let's work on this. Like basically it was, you don't have to be good at it, but one, it shows you're willing to do it. And two, you have to have a basic knowledge of it. And I'm just like, this is like a guy that's going to be drafted in like the top 15 probably.
The more you can do,
I can't remember who
Steve,
it was.
the more you can do.
And I was just like, wow, that's amazing to deal with that. The Lions traded running back. It's funny because I woke up. I don't remember what day it was, but I woke up and I saw David Montgomery, the running back for the Lions. He was like, oh, his days and he wants to be out of Detroit. His stuff's been down there and he wants to just leave there. Like an hour later, David Montgomery traded to the Texans. Oh, gee. Boy, that first story was not fed to somebody, was it, Dale?
He ended up in a nice spot, though.
Texans?
Yeah.
As long as that offensive line can block for him. That offensive line was not good. Going from the Lions offensive line to that one is going to be an interesting change for him, definitely. From that side. So it is franchise tag window. It closes today. I haven't heard of anybody being tagged as of yet.
The only one of the names I heard was George Pickens with the Cowboys.
They did tag him. $27.298 million is what they have to pay him. Okay,
if they don't come to an agreement.
If they don't come to an agreement. But you're not coming to an agreement unless he's going to make at least that or more.
But just so people understand the way the NFL works. So say you want to sign a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
And you're going to use $27 million as the starting point. So what's that, 54?
We do not do math here. Nothing has changed, Dale.
but what you can do is you can sign him to a 3-year deal. You can give him $30, $40 million to sign.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't count that much against the salary cap.
You can spread out the salary cap. This year, $27 million hit your salary. That's on top of the other guy making $35 million or $36 million or whatever. Then Dak making his $50 million a year on top of it.
And how many games they win last year?
Yeah,
5?
that's the problem. They needed a pass rusher, Dale. Ironically enough. Yeah, George Pickens. That's what I don't get. What's the difference between 27 and 35? A lot. It's not my money. I understand that. But if you're going to sign him for 1 year, $27 million regardless, just sign him to a 3-year deal for whatever, 35, 40, because that's going to spread out better and be better for you.
Yeah, but
that's a lot of money for 2 receivers, though, Dale.
A lot of money for 2 receivers, number one. Number two, George Pickens, kind of a little shaky pass.
Well, this is my point, though. If you're willing to tag him for 1 year, you're not willing to do 2 or 3, get out of here.
No, we'll see. 1 year, if he goes back to his old Pittsburgh days, well, then you can cut him.
Well,
let him go.
Yeah,
but if you sign him to a big signing bonus deal for 3 or 4 years, now you're stuck with him for a couple years.
The other guy, Atlanta Falcons, did tag Kyle Pitts over the weekend, $15.045 million. It goes off of the average. These are non-exclusive franchise tags, so they go off of the average, I want to say, of your top 10 of that position.
Yeah.
And then the exclusive one is what, top 3 or top 5 of that level there? But that means, Dale, the average top 10 or so for wide receivers is making $27 million in the NFL.
The other thing it does is when you give the exclusive franchise tag, no other team can negotiate with you. When you give the non-exclusive tag,
you can go
other teams can. negotiate with you, and then they have to give a draft pick.
And then, but they put those little poison pills in there like back in the day
Right.
where, okay, well, we're going to pay you this much, but if this happens, then you have to pay this much up front. And that makes the original team go, we can't do that.
Right.
So it is fascinating to see. Most teams do wait until the final day to use these franchise tag options as well coming up here. But I mean, Brees Hall is somebody to watch because Brees Hall's a running back that you could see end up here in Arizona if he becomes a free agent. The Jets have said, though, that they're going to tag him if they can't come to a deal. So we'll have to watch that today as well. And then Cincinnati did refuse to actually they didn't say they were going to tag him. They didn't say they weren't going to tag him. But Trey Hendrickson possibly is going to get tagged today as well. They got to figure that situation out, man. This is year 2 of the Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
What are we doing? The big thing here is 2 guys to watch for the Colts. Daniel Jones. What are you tagging him for? The guy's injured. He's missing half the season. When did he go down? November? He's not coming back to what, October? With his knee injury and everything?
But boy, he got off to a good start.
I know. But who else is signing him with that injury? Maybe. You're just kind of risking it. But more importantly, Alec Pierce. If I was the Colts, I'd do him. Well, the other side is they've already said they're moving away from Richardson, the Colts. So maybe you have no choice but to sign Daniel Jones because they're getting rid of Richardson at that point as well.
You're not bringing Phillip Rivers back?
Yeah, they benched him at the end as well. So, it's a what? So those are the ones you expect to pay attention to: Colts, Jets, Bengals. Other than that, you don't really expect anybody to use the tag if they haven't already done it as well out there. So, I mean, the life's rough. I mean, I get it; it's football. You want the long-term deal, but life's rough. Oh, we really want you here. We're gonna go ahead and tag you for $27 million. Oh, okay. I'm gonna twist my arm a little bit. I twist my arm.
Yeah, but I guarantee he's going to come back and say, well, no, I want a 5-year deal with, $75 million guarantee.
Is George Pickens okay? I know what he did. I know what he did when Lamb wasn't in there.
Right.
And he was really good. But he was kind of like the guy we have here, where just when when Lamb was in there, he just kind of disappeared a little bit.
I just don't know how you can sit down and budget your team and say, we can put all this money into a couple receivers and a quarterback.
3 people. Yeah, 3 people.
Meanwhile, our defense was gashed.
They just needed a pass rusher. They didn't have one to start this season. They just needed one at the end.
They needed run stoppers. They needed pass rushers. They needed defensive backs.
They got the run stopper with a couple of those moves. It was more at the end of ironically enough, their pass rushing started messing up there. We'll get more into the D. Oh, by the way, I floated this out there 3 weeks ago. I love the NFL Combine. Everybody goes there. Folks, I didn't have to fly to Indianapolis. Told you all along, Jimmy G could be your quarterback here for the Cardinals coming up. Period. End of story. Now that rumor's coming out on top of it. Malik Willis for $30 million makes 0 sense to me, Dan.
No, that's a little rich for a guy who I'm just not sold on.
Even if it's a 2-year deal, because I saw over the weekend somebody go 2-year deal, $25 million a year, and I go, why would he sign that deal when he can get 30 to 35 someplace else? Yeah, no, I mean I'm not enamored with Kirk Cousins or Jimmy G, but they're going to get you through the next 2 years, and you know what you get with them, as opposed to what if Willis comes in and he's terrible?
Who would you rather have? I see a Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins.
Okay. For me, Jimmy G, but that's just because he already knows the system. He already knows the coach. That relationship's there.
Well, doesn't it tell you something if they don't pursue him? The coach knows him.
Jimmy G? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, run away. He's 35 years old. Did you know that? He's old. But he hasn't played the last couple years.
I mean, his body's not taking a beating.
No. At least not from football. Maybe from his girls, that if you know what he likes. But that's kind of what leads me to in terms of we've seen him play lately. I want Kirk Cousins. I would want Kirk Cousins because he's a turnover machine and has issues. I get it, but he also can command an offense and drive down the field and score. Jimmy G, I don't know what you're going to get after not playing much in 2 years. But like I said, he was with LaFleur in San Francisco, with LaFleur in Rams. There's a history there. There's a relationship. I don't know.
The things that he knows now is he knows how he practices, he knows how he prepares, how he studies.
That was the problem in San Francisco was Shanahan was like, you don't prepare very well, buddy. You're out there with the ladies. You know what I mean? From that. So it'll be fascinating to see. Arizona wins the Big 12 regular season with their win. Man, Kansas. One kid is ruining that Kansas squad. And the way that they're handling them is interesting. And the funny thing is I woke up this morning and I was like, did I miss the Suns game at some point? It was Thursday night. I sat down at the restaurant down at Steak 44, and I said, what about the Suns-Lakers game? Do you remember? You guys brought it up, and I said, Suns are winning tonight. And you guys both went, no, they're not. And I went, yeah, they're probably not, but it's going to be a closer game than you guys think it's going to be because the Lakers' big three sucks. Luka is and I'm not making fun of him, but he's talking a lot about personal issues and how he's not focusing on basketball. LeBron is just being 40-year-old LeBron, 42-year-old LeBron on top of it. I don't think Luka and J.J. Redick enjoy each other very much in terms of the head coach on top of it. And the Suns went out there and beat the Lakers on Thursday, just like I predicted.
Luka and Redick are not getting along.
Shocker.
It's interesting. Why? Is Redick pushing them? Is Redick coaching them?
I don't know.
Is Redick challenging them? But there are a couple of things I saw over the weekend, just little snippets of him being replaced in the lineup. Sub goes in and Luka comes out and
makes those little comments.
And Redick's trying to give him 5, and Luka flaps his arm away.
They ain't talking.
No.
I got news for you guys. But that's my whole point on the Lakers. That's what I said. Even with all the injuries, which the Suns are getting healthy tonight for their game, Booker's going to be back and stuff. But that's the interesting. That's what I've been telling you guys all along. The Suns can still catch the Lakers even with all their injuries because the Lakers are going to implode. I told you guys that at the All-Star break. LeBron has this ability to he's going to take this Lakers team. Luka is going to take this Lakers team as he goes into. If Luka doesn't want to play, he won't play. That's why the Mavericks got rid of him. It's a serious issue there with them, and you're just going to see. And then they're not getting along with the coaching staff now. Lakers are a mess out there. We'll talk about that as well. And D-backs play Mexico today, in spring training.
And where are they playing them?
Salt River Fields, I do believe.
Are they?
Yeah, Gallen's on the mound today as well. Oh my God! Did we survive the weekend without pitcher injuries?
I haven't heard anything this morning.
Mena went down. They had to stop him from throwing last Thursday.
Fott
came into camp with an injury. Yeah, that was fun. Sitting down waiting for Dale to show up at Steak 44 because it was late. We're getting all that news flown to our phones.
Let's go D-backs.
They're making those pitching changes as well. So coming up. Hey, it's a short break here. Let's take our break here for this hour. So we're just getting caught up on stuff out there. We'll come back here. The main event. look who just walked in here. Like he owns the place.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I see Dale's all bandaged up. Looks like he got finished with the Philadelphia Eagles or New York Giants. Cowboys got rough shot a little bit.
Or just my grandson. How about that? That's how fragile I become.
That's pretty sad if your
Yeah.
grandson's got you all bandaged
Well,
up.
when I have to put up the double stop sign when he's running at me, do not run and jump into my arms. I ain't got to. Coop, we spent the first 10 minutes talking about what a wonderful night we had Thursday night.
We had a great night.
And
We had a great night.
You were the host. You were spectacular. The food was awesome. Company was pretty good. But what a wonderful night! I want to thank you.
It was, but you know what? I'm looking for that next bet because
Yeah.
I don't like to lose.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't, and we'll find something. But
Yeah.
it was a wonderful night. You did it up, and little did we know, the one thing that surprised me the most is Coop has to travel clandestine out in public because he can't give his real name.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it was a big secret type of thing that I'm doing, but it works.
She looked at me like Bruce Cooper. I'm like,
She's all the news guy?
Yeah. And I did finally say, she goes, well, what does he look like? I said, well, he's a black guy. Oh.
Like,
Well,
That's weird.
Dale's finding out a few of these clandestine or secret moments from me.
Koo has lived a life that we would all be jealous of, I have a feeling.
you think you'd want to drop his name at the beginning, to get the better tables and stuff like that.
They did stick us in the back there, didn't they?
They did. Well, you want it to be quiet.
I know. We walked in. I go back. And I go, is this a Coop table back here in the corner?
All right,
pretty
we
funny,
we
but-
only got a few minutes, so we can't get into any topics. I'm going to give
Yes.
you guys a quick quiz.
Yeah, give it to us.
Quick quiz, and I just want to ask you how you answer these. So these teams are from the Coastal Athletic Association.
The who?
Coastal Athletic Association.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you know any of these mascots.
Oh boy, I guarantee I'm not going to. But go ahead.
Okay, how about Charleston
The Knights.
Is that right?
Cougars?
Okay, well, heck, I just was asking, so if he said no, I was going to guess the Cougars.
Yeah, give it a chance. Yeah.
Look at him. How about Hofstra? You've heard of Hofstra.
The
Yeah.
Knights.
Hofstra, Minutemen.
Pride.
Okay.
gets that?
The Drexel.
Bulldogs.
The Knights.
Dragons. The Monmouth.
Oh, they're the elephant. The woolly mammoths.
Patriots.
Hawks.
How,
Stony Brook.
doesn't even make sense. This better be a river.
Stony Brook.
Stony Brook. I'm going to say the Hawks.
A night river.
Seawolves.
What the seawolf?
Townsend.
Oh, Townsend, I actually know, and I can't think of it right
Townsend.
Townsend.
Tigers.
Tigers. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I actually knew that one.
How about Campbell?
Campbell.
Campbell.
Soup.
Campbell.
What is this?
It's got to be Patriots in there somewhere.
They're the Fighting Camels.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fighting camels?
Hampton are the Pirates. Elon is the Phoenix. North Carolina AT&T is the Aggies. Northeastern is the Huskies.
Jeez.
Where
Yeah.
did they come up with all that
I
stuff?
have no idea.
More
I
importantly,
thought-
what did you come up with that survey at?
I was just looking through the standings to see how far ASU had fallen down in the basketball standings.
The bubble?
Yeah, right. Hey, look, I will say this. I know that and here's the deal. See, me and Steve had talked about going to one of their games.
Yeah.
And I've been slow about getting on there, but I thought I had another week or so. I looked and I saw this is their final week.
Yeah.
And so this is their final home game, and I'm like, man, this could be it for Bobby.
I just assumed neither one of us wanted to go to a game.
Well, that's a good point too. But I was looking forward to a little Chuck box before we headed over.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
we're
little
gonna
Chuck.
do Chuck Box for
little
lunch
Chuck-
one
See,
day.
yeah, he said he's never been, so I was.
Me? Oh no, I've been at Chuck Box a hundred
yeah?
times. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Not a million.
A big one?
times.
Oh no, a million
not-
times.
A million.
That and it used to be the Chuck Box, and then an Italian place when I went to ASU that was next door, and they had great.
Who was it? Was it Dale? Never been to the Chuck box?
I've only been to the Chuck Box up north when it was open. There used to be one on Shea and Scottsdale
not
Road.
the same.
What?
Yeah, Chuck Box.
Dude, I only knew of the one at ASU.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. You're thinking of Charles's box.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, but at any rate, you know, if this is Bobby's final home game, I tell you what, it's a great game because I think his best 2 wins as a head coach at Arizona State University comes against the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
They were number 2 in the country when they went to Fog Island Fieldhouse and beat the Jayhawks. Came back the following year at
This was 10 years ago now, though.
well, but
8
you know,
years ago now.
it was. But I tell you what, that's when Bobby had this thing rocking because
Yes.
it was called Guard You,
Yeah.
and I keep going back to that. I still remember that team. They could be down by 20, 25 points, and they would shoot their way back in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Shannon Evans, Cody Justice, Trey Holder, and some guy named Remy Martin.
Trey Holder.
You maybe heard of Remy, but yeah,
Remy went and played it. Didn't he play Kansas or Kentucky?
no, Remy was a freshman that came in to ASU, and his senior year he transferred out and played at Kansas. And I believe they were in the. Did they win the title?
No, but they went. You know what? They might have won. If they didn't win it, they were close to winning it.
Yeah, because Remy
Yeah.
was having quite the run. But let me tell you something. Those were some exciting years for ASU, and I just really thought that Bobby Hurley, being this one of the more prolific point guards in college basketball history, I thought that was his signature was Guard You.
Right.
And they were a fun team to watch. Now, again, they beat the Jayhawks number 2 in Kansas, then returned, beat the Jayhawks number 1. Jayhawks are number 1, and they stormed the court. And I just said, man, ASU hit a home run with this guy.
Right.
And then he started getting, you know, some of these top rated players
the
in.
5 stars.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, it just seems like the injury after COVID. It just seems like
In that COVID year with
Yeah.
those guys.
Bagley,
Christopher,
and
the other guy.
Christopher, and who were both first round picks. No, Christopher was, but
Bagley fell.
He
yeah.
wasn't. But I mean, they just had injuries. It seemed like every time, even last year, they had 2 5-star guys.
Yeah.
Josan Sannon
And the big guy, Quintance.
Jaden Quintance. 2 5-star guys. They got off to this great start. I mean, they were non-conference. They were probably maybe 11-2 or something like that. And then next thing you know, they get to conference play. They're hurt, and they don't even play anymore. I mean, at least I give.
Well, Q flew out his knee.
Q's
so,
was legit because he tore his ACL.
Yeah, so he'll be back, but yeah.
But the one thing that's always interesting over the last 5 years or so, since Steve and I have been doing this and whatever I've been paying a little more attention, it always seems like ASU gets the wrong 5 stars. Like, okay, yeah, they are rated a 5-star, but that's not the best 5-star. Or there's some issue like the dude in Kansas.
Yeah, Pattinson or whatever.
I don't know how on earth you coach a kid like that. The guy who keeps taking himself out of the game.
Darren Patterson.
Yeah.
Patterson?
You don't coach him. That's the point.
You know, and that would just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But it'll be fascinating.
Remy Martin, by the way, 2022 national champion. They did beat North Carolina that year.
yeah.
I couldn't remember if they won it or if they lost that game. But yeah.
And I'm telling you, Bobby had the Sun Devils rocking at that point. But I'm telling you, like Dale says, seems like when they get these 5-star kids and you get excited, you know, something happens. You know, injuries always happen and they just don't play. And I was excited about this. Anytime you can steal someone from U of A.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with Josan Sannon. Sannon had committed to U of A, and all of a sudden ASU flipped him. So I'm excited. And Bobby called him like the best shooter he's ever coached. I mean, the guy got off to a phenomenal start, but then all of a sudden, I mean, he sprained an ankle, and I guess he was out like 3 weeks, and he came back. He was never the same.
You couldn't play anymore. It was amazing to see. So let's take our top of the hour break here and come back. But yeah, Kansas is in town tonight against Arizona State, 7 p.m. Dare I say it, ASU has a chance to win this game because Kansas is terrible.
What?
Terrible.
They're terrible.
They've been terrible
They're
lately.
not playing real well right now.
Yeah, and teams that play them after they play Arizona, they have terrible records. Just on top of it from that. So
One last
be
big
interesting to
thank
see.
you to Bruce Cooper. Didn't even blink at the bill. Big shrimp.
I don't think he looked. I
steak.
don't think he looked at it.
Hey, you want another appetizer? Cooper's just spoiling us.
I'm a big Steak 44 fan. Just from the seafood standpoint, my wife loves the steak, and I like you guys.
Yeah,
I don't do
your
that.
salmon was amazing looking as well. So come on back, folks. Second hour main event coming up next. And we're back here, second hour main events for show on this Tuesday in the temporary news studios.
I'll come down to your guys' level.
Yeah, I know. Why are you sitting so high over there?
I felt like King Hellestray over here.
Well, we're still working on some setup stuff and everything. Trying to get the kinks out. It's funny how we test it, and then it's like, then we go live, and it's like, oh, we got to do this and this and this and this. You found your way back to this place, all right?
Found
today?
my way back. You know, I started to get a little worried about. God, did I miss it? Did I miss? Oh, here it is.
Traffic better or worse than going downtown? Is the question.
It was better.
There was not much traffic today coming down. Like I always hit one of those signs over the 51. It sometimes says 20 minutes to I-10. Sometimes it says 8 minutes to I-10.
Yeah, I had a good run from the 60 to the 101 north. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. I'm like, man, I like you. I was wondering, man, what I was trying to think if it was a holiday today or something.
Well, spring break starts next week for a lot of the school districts, so you'll see it get really weird starting next week.
Shouldn't affect today, but it was
Next
nice.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Now, did you put your Kevlar casing on your car to come down here to this neighborhood, Goo?
It's the same neighborhood that KUPD's in, and he doesn't say this stuff to them when he pulled into their neighborhood. Just saying.
Yeah.
What a snob he is.
Yeah.
I'll get security at the end of the. I'll get a security guy to check you in, Dale. If you'd like.
Look, if this is the place that we're going to have the draft, then that's all good. That's all I need to know. Because I do want to point out a few things about this after watching.
We're going to talk about that here coming up. But yeah, no, I mean, if unless we find our permanent spot here coming up, I have to work some stuff with some other people to find out how much space we need. But worst case, this is where we're doing the draft.
I like it here. I like it here.
And things like that. Just a matter of how big we need to get with some other opportunities out there. But before we get into like the big sports out there, we want to talk to you about, of course, over the weekend, AIA basketball's happening out there. Well, I've been following the story. I didn't talk about it at all last week because it was the fans, it was the parents. We're talking about Coolidge, and then, of course, with some Chinley was down there in Coolidge and playing a game, and the fans, parents, dare I say, some fans for Coolidge. Reportedly, were saying the wrong things to the players of Chinley and the fans.
Well, it's
on
kind of
their
like
side.
they're doing. They said they were racially taunting. them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. They were doing. Not the kids.
And
parents.
The fans.
And that's the interesting thing that you have to make a distinction of. It wasn't the players.
The AIA didn't make that
It
distinction.
was fans and players and fans and parents. Which, Coop, okay, we don't have enough time to go all down that road. Just the way parents have their attitudes.
They ruin everything.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've been at basketball games where parents have been, and I felt bad for the players.
Yes.
I'm not gonna mention a couple of the players,
you don't have
but parents were so unruly. The referees stopped the game, went and got the police who were there for security, pointed them out. It was one of the twice in two different occasions. It was a player's parent. They were escorted out. One of them was banned from coming to the rest of the game, and that's just embarrassing.
Yes,
it's embarrassing. I felt bad for the kid because. I mean, that's God. He's got to be saying, "Dad, please." I mean,
you come home and your dad's been kicked. It's like I've never understood that. Oh, it's
but here's where I think where the AIA erred. Again, the situation in case anyone out there doesn't know.
Let's explain the whole thing now that we know obviously more.
Right. The Coolidge Bears, were playing a state playoff game against Chinley. Chinley is from the reservations.
Yep.
And so and they have a great following. I mean, just a great, fantastic fan following.
Yep.
I mean, when you go to these playoff games, I mean, the arena is just packed. They
almost sold out the call for the women, for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely,
basketball
boys
championship
and girls. They pack. I mean, look, I've been at I guess it's called Mortgage Arena now. It used to be called
the Morgue.
Yeah, the America West Arena where the Suns play. I mean, they would host sometimes the AIA State Championship game, and I'm telling you, the Native Americans, they supported their teams like now. I mean, the arena is darn near packed with their fans.
Yeah,
that's how great they support them. And so to hear that and look, I know the AIA does a great job in terms of when they go in their investigations, they found out that the Coolidge fan base and parents were racially taunting the fans from Chinley.
Right.
All right. So the AIA laid out a ruling where and this is where I think they went wrong. They put the entire, keep in mind, the entire Coolidge athletic program, boys and girls sports. Yep. We're talking about football, gymnastics, wrestling, everything. They put them on a 1-year probation, banned them all from a postseason play. And so I'm like, dude, that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's wrong. You need to look. The football, like the football season is already completed at Coolidge. The gymnastics, all these fall sports, they're all completed, and they play the season. And so now they're here to try to maybe support the other sports that are being played, or maybe they've gotten into that different sport or whatever. But to penalize them, it's ridiculous. This is the boys' basketball program. They singularly
who won the game, by the way.
Yeah, they singularly need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Not and here's the deal. It's not the players, but it's their program. And so it's just like when we see coaches or whatever boosters that illegally recruit, it's the players and that program that get sanctioned,
right?
Not the entire athletic department. So that's where I think the AIA erred. But then this is where I'm like, my gosh. So the basketball program, they appealed, went to court, won that ruling.
Well, they appealed to the AIA first, and AIA said, nope, we're not changing any of it. That's what the ruling is.
So they went to court, and they got an injunction, and so they were able to get back in the tournament because their next opponent was going to get a forfeit and move on.
They were going to automatically go to the championship game.
And so now Coolidge is back in. They won the game, so now they'll play the state championship game.
And then, but then there was Snowflake, who has to travel down here from Snowflake.
Right.
They had to move the game around, so
Right.
you're messing with their schedule and stuff to that effect. Now the championship game's been moved.
Right. Yeah,
multiple times.
because the AIA they had dates, times, and slotted
should've
for
been
each one
played
of
over
these
the
games. And when they had kicked Coolidge out, well, okay, they lost their slot.
Right.
So now they have to reslot and refine another day, and so that's the issue. But the problem I have, Dale, let me ask you this: I think SMU is the only football program ever to be given the death penalty, right?
Correct. Yes.
Dale, let me ask you this: was it the football program or the entire athletic
It
department?
was just a football program.
Oh my gosh! You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
It was just the football program. Yeah. I mean, look. I love the AIA. I love how they try and support and legislate our entire athletics from a high school standpoint. But sometimes they get it wrong from a jurisprudence standpoint, if you will. And this is one of those cases. They were wrong. You cannot penalize that entire athletic you need to penalize that boys basketball program.
But even that though, Coop, just penalize the event. You cannot have any visiting fans for any home games moving forward for basketball. If they're the ones doing it. No, but then did you see this too really quick? The boys ran out on the court against that game, and there was a big Native American presence there because the women's schools were competing, ended up winning. One of them ended up winning the girls' championship. Obviously, the boys' teams were playing there and stuff like that. And then Coolidge runs out on the court between games of the Native American and gets booed. The kids get booed mercifully by these fan bases because of what parents and adults had done on the sideline.
Yeah.
The AIA, I'll be meaner about it than you are. The AIA thought they were being tough. They thought they were going to lay down the hammer, and they got embarrassed. And they're not looking out for kids. The AIA was looking out to protect things and look like the winner in this. And they screwed it up so bad that they royally messed it up. And they're going to get slapped down in court. That's why you get the injunction, is because you're more likely to win it than lose it. But then if Coolidge goes on and wins the championship and the AIA somehow wins the court deal, they'll have to forfeit that championship on top. Vacate. Yeah. It's just stupidity. It's dumb on the AIA's part. There's 1,000 things you could have done before getting to this level, and that's what makes me angry. They're not protecting the kids at all.
Well, here's the deal. I think we just talked about it. The kids didn't play any part in this. No. It was the parents and the fans that are there. And so you can't penalize parents and fans because you can't. I mean, there's too many of them.
If you would have caught them in the act, you can ban them, but otherwise you can't.
So what you have to do is you have to make them realize, hey, and this will go down. Look, if you penalize that entire team like they did that particular sport, it will have some.
Here's the problem, though. I'm going to show up to the championship game, and I'm going to sit on the other team's court and yell things. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just using an example. I'm going to yell things about the other team to get them banned from the championship game, and we automatically win a championship. Well, that's why you can't regulate that.
Well, but here's the deal. At some point, when they sit down and interview you, you'll have a bunch of witnesses.
Yeah.
Too many witnesses will say, no, that guy wasn't even on our team.
Right.
He was this, that, and the other. So, look, I know that they have their investigations. And there's no question in my mind that the fan base from Coolidge, parents included, and probably the more guilty people or the parents, they cost this. And what they did was ugly. I mean, you always talk about you want someone to be a role model.
Right.
Hey, Dude, you have to, as a parent. I mean, that's what part of your job is.
Right.
And so if you hurt that program, the players and stuff like that, that's the only way you can get a parent that maybe second guess himself. And maybe I better tone it down.
Yeah.
If someone else, hey, remember what happened last year? Remember this? That's the only way you can do it. But you cannot. And my issue is they penalize the entire.
That's what they went on.
I mean, I do. No.
It's just the AIA continues to make big mistakes when it comes to penalizing, and then they always get beat down by the court system.
Well, they don't have the money.
Well, that's my point. So why go through that process?
Because you're trying to supervise the sport, that the athletic directors come up with the rules. But you're right. The number one thing now, could they have still gotten the TRO, the temporary restraining order? Probably, Probably, but to put the entire athletic program,
Yeah.
doesn't
And
make
the
any sense.
temporary restraining order has nothing to do with the whole school. That hearing comes later. That was just so
Yeah.
they could play in this basketball.
Yeah,
tournament.
and this is another like I can tell you I covered this story here. There, the AIA meets I believe just before the start of the football season
Yeah.
in the fall, and then sometime in like maybe mid to late October. All right, so if you're a transfer, you need to get in beforehand. Well, what happened was, and I'm just going to not even mention schools players. A player was at school A. He had some problems at home, so he went to live with his grandparents, and so he's now at school B.
Which is better.
Yeah, which was better. Was better for him. Well,
Coincidence.
there was a death at in the family at school A. He had went back home
Okay.
because tragic situation.
Right.
And he had to sit the entire time because they don't meet again until late October. Season's pretty much, his
Right.
kid's a senior.
Right.
Season's pretty much over. And so I'm like, my gosh, I mean, look, I understand they don't want to open Pandora's box because that's what they were telling me.
Right.
But I mean, dude, there has to be some type of compassion, some type of a way to this is an issue that is different. It's outside the box.
Yeah. They would-
we
he-
need an emergency meeting.
That kid would have had to
and,
sue to get his way through there.
and when they met in October, guess what? They cleared him. But shoot, he's missed 3/4 of the season.
Right.
No, that's what makes me angry about the A. Because they always say we're in the best interest of the kids. We're protecting the kids, but they're not. They actually make it harder for the kids going forward. And they don't see that they're making it harder. The whole Saguaro situation with the principal, and then they all want to transfer out. The kids that got to play right away sued them, won it, and was able to play right away. The kids that didn't sue had to sit out the 4 or 5 games or whatever it was. It's just there's no system. There's a way to clarify it up. To put Coolidge kids in that position, this is what makes me angry. Is all right. It's already bad enough. You came in, but like you said, you're punishing the track and field. They can't win state at track and field coming up here
Baseball.
because of what the basketball program is. It's an absolute joke. You're not
yeah.
protecting any kids in that situation. Then to let those Coolidge kids run out onto the court and get booed mercifully is another way of how's that protecting the kids in that situation? The AAA fails at protecting kids.
Well,
Reese.
they don't hit the nail on the head because I've done enough stories to understand that they don't have the money to really
Fight
do
these
what they-
cases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
And-
then why?
and so-
but that's my point, though. But why put the whole school on there when you know you can't fight it?
Well, you made a bad. That's where it's just a bad decision by the board. There's
Right.
just no if and no.
Is the board the ones that make it? There's not one person. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
board
just a
votes
board.
on
No,
it?
it's a board. It's a board. I'm sure there's a louder voice than others, but but there's a
Yeah, and,
Well, I get it. Rightfully so. There was probably that said we can't condone this type of language.
Yeah,
and I,
you know what?
absolutely.
I agree with
Absolutely.
sanctioning the boys program, and they probably even if they had just done the AIA had just singularly sanctioned the boys program.
Yeah.
I do believe that they would have still gone to court and got
well,
this injunction
because
in
they
place.
kicked him out of the playoffs. Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
Right. I
If this
believe-
was regular season, you'd take your 1 or 2 game loss and you'd move on with your life. But no, this is the
Well,
play. And they have a really good chance of winning this too.
Well, I look. I think that I don't have a problem with the penalty. They just put it across the board, and they just should have made a thing because you have to make some type of statement here.
I've been to
yeah.
enough high school basketball games where I've seen people get talked to if they're getting out. Nothing to that level. You mean to tell me that nobody in that building? You have security there. You have ads in there that can step in. Nobody stepped in to. Hey, that person needs to go. That person needs to go. That person needs to go.
And so that's why you put it on the Coolidge administration.
Yeah.
Because they had people there, and they didn't do a good job in bringing their people. I mean, look, we've all seen cases where a head coach will pick up a mic and he'll say something.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I've seen Gary Ernst, the great Gary Ernst, who used to coach at
Well,
both Chandler and Mountain View, do the same thing.
Yeah,
I
but-
saw that where some kids of a school were sitting on the visitor side. That athletic director walked over there and told, "Hey, you guys need to go sit on the other side," because they were running their mouths on that side.
Yeah,
He just went over, grabbed them, and said, "You guys need to." Come
But now
sit on
this
this
was
side."
supposedly after the game, correct? After the game.
It was at
during
the
the
end
game.
of the game. The game
And
was
the
still
game-
going
Oh,
on.
I thought the game was over.
It was still going
Okay,
on.
okay. And again, I'm not saying the AA has an easy job, because between transfers and bogus transfers and these things and that thing,
And,
they got a tough job.
illegal recruiting.
Yes, they got so much on their plate, and they don't have the resources to do that. I mean, what the whole thing that happened with Sandra Day O'Connor and Central, where now they're talking about, hey, they were tanking so they could play in the lower tournament.
Yeah.
You know, and that's in high school now.
Well, Dale, look, you can't put that on the AIA.
Yeah,
That's a coach's decision, I
Yes.
guess. You know, it may and look, I can tell you about football. Like Conrad Hamilton, he was the head coach at Desert Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
His team is undefeated, having a great season, and yet he understands that my 5A program, we can't compete with Liberty and Basha and Chandler in the open.
Right.
So I don't really want to be in there. I'd rather be in the 5A.
Yes.
But because the AIA and in their season way it finished out, they put them in the open. Well, they went and played in the open and they lost.
Well, that's
But-
why you blame the AIA, is because that whole concept is another thing to talk about.
Well, look, I get why they
Because
did
there's only 2, 3, 4 schools that can win a championship in the Open.
So
to put 12 teams into that and
Well-
8 of them have no chance to win the championship
Well,
is just.
But let's look at the reason why they did it. You had Saguaro
Yeah,
in
but
the
that's gone now.
4A.
Yeah.
They won like 900,000 championships in a row.
the Fighting
So-
Hellisters, yes.
Yeah. So and then you had Chandler and winning all the 6As and Centennial, the 5A. So you said, hey, let's give some of these other schools a chance to actually have a chance to compete. Let's put these elite programs in an elite division.
Right.
So I didn't have a problem
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
But I mean, like this
but
year, you had
they-
Basha, Hamilton,
But
Chandler.
but here's the thing:
and there was only one other team. They were one of those teams that was winning the championship.
But they
so.
went back and rectified that by adjusting the divisions so that Saguaro's playing 6A.
Yeah.
Although they shouldn't be now, and Chaparral and all those schools.
Now that,
We
that,
make those
that-
adjustments,
that-
yeah.
But you know what? They have these 2-year blocks.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that schools can appeal it
Hmm.
because they say like Saguaro. Look, we're a great program. We do great things. We win championships, but we don't have. I hate to use the word personnel because we don't have
The numbers.
we don't have the student enrollment that these others do. So we're handicapped. I get all that, but Saguaro went and they still won the darn thing as a 4A school.
Right. No, so it's one of those. It's like a quagmire for the AA. You're trying to make things fair, and because I've always said that since this thing started, I just soon win a 5A state title or 6A state title as an open. When I come back in 20 years, my state championship's going to say state championship. You know, it's not going to be, oh, well, it wasn't the open state championship.
Yeah. Hey, look. You want to come back because those reunions they mean so
Yeah,
the 10-year and the 20-year. Hey, look, I had to go back to mine and relive being a goat, and it wasn't a great goat. It was the bad goat. I mean, I failed to come through, and
You
so
missed the shot.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's terrible. So, but those are things you come back and talk about,
Right.
and you reminisce, and so yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to have. I mean, Saguaro goes back. I just imagine him. Saguaro goes back and for their 10-year. You know, yeah, we won it in 16, 17, 18, 19. We won. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, I brought that up in the football one because if you lose on the first weekend, you drop down to the lower, and you can still play in your 5A or 6A.
Well, that's what they. That's a modification.
They
That's
just
a
did that this year.
modification.
But what you're setting up for that is what? We're going to lose this weekend because we know we can't beat Basha.
That's the
Hamilton.
first I've ever.
No, this
heard about.
But
and
this one was weird because the kid's mom said she was being abused sitting on the visitor side, and the kids just
You're talking
walked
about the
out court.
basketball thing now.
The central thing. It's like, just don't, if you're gonna tank, just don't play. You walk in with crutches or something. Like, what are you doing making all that whole story up of abuse and then walking off the court? It just got weird. But you're going to set yourself up for teams that are going to go, there's no way we're winning a champion. We played Basha. We played Hamilton. We played Chandler this year in terms of football. We're not beating those three schools. So let's lose this first game, even though we should win it. And let's get down to our level.
Bottom line, parents get way too involved. Look,
Yeah.
I know some coaches who quit because they said, I just can't take it anymore.
Most of them
Right.
do.
Because they get constantly are meeting with the district athletic director because the parents want to take it to that level and stuff. So, yeah.
Parents will get coaches fired.
Sure.
I know one in the East Valley that ended up resigning because they were putting pressure on him to play a couple kids because the parents were putting pressure on the administration.
Yeah.
And so the administration went to the head coach, and he was finally like, I'm done here, and left and everything. And it's like, what are we doing? Robert says, isn't it always the parents? Yes.
Yes, it is.
It 100% is. And it's even to the point where some parents in local media, I won't name them, I think it's a story that's been out there, but a media person, they went after his real job to try to get him fired from his real job because he was saying things about the school and that type of stuff. And it was parents doing that on a media person covering high school sports.
Well,
they went after his real job instead of, as parents. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Since you said that, look, we when I was at 12, we did Friday Night Fever,
Yeah.
and it's still going on. I mean, 35, 36
Staple.
plus years.
Yep.
Yeah, and so what we do is we have an offensive player of the year, a defensive player of the year, a coach of the year, and an all fever team. All right, and offense and defense, special team, all that all entire deal. Man, I can't tell you the number of parents that have called, complained about their kid being overlooked. I even get emails and things comparing stats and things like that. And at least it never. It's only a couple times when I was called some names because it was names like you're stupid. You already know that's why no one respects this. Well, if no one respects the awards we put out, why are you complaining?
Yeah.
Right.
Why are you reaching out?
But and so
Wow.
So I've dealt with some stuff like that. But look, but the parents who do call in or maybe send some stuff like that, it's just they're usually nice about it. But there's been a couple, look, I respect your decision, but look, I think you kind of erred. Then they'll say, and I'll say, look, your son was very much considered, and it just came down there. But it was usually nice. But we've had some,
Yeah.
and again, with Coolidge, I know they're not every parent so out there was doing this, but there are some. And those some can make it bad for everyone, and that's the case that we're dealing with.
Well, and that's the thing where there needs to be somebody on the other side that gathers them and say, "You're killing our kids."
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
Dale. Absolutely.
I actually saw when the ruling came down before the court deal. I was in a little group thing, and I actually saw some people say, "Hey, parents that did this, you need to speak up and say how sorry you are because you're punishing the kid." So some parents were putting pressure on the parent. They know who they are. Coolidge isn't the biggest place on the planet.
No.
They know who they are. So they were like literally pleading, like, you need to sit down with somebody and have a heart-to-heart conversation about your actions so these kids can continue to play. So there are some good in this, at least from that side and things to that. I tell you what, when we come back, let's talk a little NFL as well. Suns tonight, they're healthy. We're even going to see Hightower tonight on top of it.
What do you mean they're not completely healthy? I know a certain Brooks guy that's still not playing, and a certain Goodwin guy that's still not playing.
But in terms of Booker being back, and then Hightower as well, kind of a shocker after this
Hightower?
break.
He's off the list?
They say he's playing tonight.
John
John
Gamador.
Gamador.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, I know. And John Gamador just put out on Twitter. I'll verify that, but I'm pretty sure he just put out there expecting him to play tonight as well. So we'll get into all that. Come on back.
9:00 tip-off. Cooper, you going to make it up?
Hey, look, the time change is Sunday.
Yeah,
coming
so
up, so
that
we don't have to
goes
worry
away.
about those 9 o'clock.
Cannot. It's annoying because I'll be out of NASCAR, so I got to be like, what time does this race start today? But I do love that because we get back to normal time. Yeah, Haywood Highsmith. is expected to make his Phoenix Suns debut
Wow.
tonight. John
How about that?
Gambadoro,
How about
an
that?
hour ago. Come on back, folks. Main event. And we're back here. Hey, Diamondbacks face Mexico today.
Team Mexico.
Gallon's on the mound. That's the most important thing out today.
Do you think they should throw him out there? I mean, every pitcher that goes out and pitches gets hurt.
I thought Ryan Nelson did a pretty good job in his spring debut.
Yeah.
So maybe Gallon can look equally as well tonight.
I mean, we're less than a month away to the start of the season, and Fott has yet to get out on the mound with what came out last week in offseason.
Do you like the World Baseball
I
Classic?
do. I like it a lot.
Okay.
The only thing I don't like about it is it's so early in spring training. You know, it's good because it amps it up, but I think it's too early in spring training. I think it's not good baseball. Guys are still like Scoble's going to pitch in it, but he's only going to pitch one. He's like, I'm only going to pitch once in one inning or something like that. Or I'm only going to pitch once in this inning. You know, and so they restrict where they go and stuff like that. So that's kind of annoying. But like Ohtani hasn't been here at all because he's in Japan getting ready for it. He hasn't even been here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That's what I read
So
over the weekend.
he's not been with the Dodgers during the.
That's what I read over the weekend. So I'm assuming that's correct.
Wow.
I've not been following. I refuse to follow Dodgers spring training.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Ohtani is a freak. He's one of one. So I mean, I would if I'm Dave Roberts, I'm the Dodgers. I'm like, hey, dude, you do you. We'll take you when you come back.
Yeah, he's going to be you. That's one guy you don't have to worry about coming in shape and stuff to that effect. Coming up, but that's the only thing I don't like about it is we're not like Ohtani's not going to pitch at all. He's already announced that. You know, a lot of guys couldn't play in it because they're over 35, so they couldn't get the insurance for it and stuff like that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. If anything, I would say you want to play that after the World Series or something.
Well,
because then everybody's in baseball mode and ready to go.
Now the last time it was a couple 2 or 3 years ago they had this,
every 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was Japan and USA.
Yep, Japan won.
Do you expect the same, or do you expect maybe a Dominican Republic team?
No,
or what,
Japan. Well, the U.S. team I'm not sure of because starting pitching stuff to that effect. But Japan's definitely gonna be there at the end unless they just mess up. They just live and die with this and the way they play baseball. So they're gonna be there at the end. U.S. always just worries me a little bit, but that is amazing though, isn't it? You hear like Dominican teams and stuff like that with their infield that's coming in alone. And then they struggle in these things. It is an amazing thing to see happen. You think they would be able to, not that they're going to be schlubs, but they just don't compete like Japan does out there. It is amazing to see how that happens there. Iran's coming into town. By the way, Iran's going to train in Tucson, so I find that an interesting dynamic.
Iran.
Yeah, literally. That's being bombed right now and bombing Israel. I was just saying this morning.
Wow.
Their team's coming into town, into Tucson. Have fun down there with them, Tucson. So you're not a big World Baseball Classic guy?
Well, to me, I agree with your assessment. I just think that Team USA, and keep in mind, you're right. They were there in the championship game 2 years ago. Yeah. It just and you're pointing out like Super. You have guys that are still not playing at their optimum best.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for that, a
starting pitcher isn't going six no-hit innings.
Yeah, in other words, like I'm a huge Summer Olympic guy, and I think I told you guys that. I love the
baseball's coming to Summer Olympics.
I love competition. I just can't look at the World Baseball Classic in that same vein because I know the team that I would root for, USA, they're not at their optimum best.
That's the problem. Is it fun? Yes, because anytime you combine nations, it amps it up a little bit. You see that in hockey with the Four Nations tournament and then the Olympics. But you're not going to get the best of everybody out there, and that's what disappoints. You got to find a time to play it when you're going to get the best of everybody out there. I think to continue with it, but it's still fun to watch.
And maybe you should have it during the All-Star week. Maybe you have make it a All-Star break, a 2-week thing, and you have
just do it
World Baseball Classic.
U.S. plays their first game on Friday coming up. I think they played in Houston, if I remember correctly.
Is that how long this thing takes? About 2 weeks?
No, it's quicker than that.
Oh, okay. So you could do it like an All-Star break.
Yeah, they play like every other day, and they get through it and stuff. I don't know what I just typed in there.
Coop, the other thing is I always say the Hall of Fame ceremonies for baseball should be the Monday of All-Star weekend or All-Star week.
Not on a random Tuesday.
Kind of like how the NFL does it?
Yeah, not on a random Sunday when 28 of the 30 teams are playing.
Good point, Dale. Good point.
So I'm looking it up here just really quick because everybody's doing schedules. Everybody's practicing, today. So it starts, basically exhibition starts now. I know the U.S. plays that, but it goes until the 17th is the championship game, the classic final.
So that's about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. For the elimination side of it, I guess it's spread out a little bit more. But yeah, so that's about right. But I agree with you. That would be more fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because what we see now is just a joke with the All. Though I tell you what, I think last year was pretty competitive. It was
World Baseball Classic? Every game is competitive. It's amazing. There's some blowouts, but every game's competitive. Fans are cheering.
The American League won 900,000 times in a row. I mean, it was just like, dude, come on now.
The All-Star game, you mean?
Yeah, the All-Star game.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the All-Star game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So
it's the one that I'll watch the most.
So you can get rid of that. And let me tell you something. I don't like the festivities around the All-Star break, like this home run contest. I mean, good Lord, man, you talk about monotonous.
The way they film it alone is ridiculous.
Back. I mean, it's like, geez, dude, come on.
The way they film it is ridiculous, where you can't even see him go. Yeah, so Friday on Fox, USA plays Brazil. Webb's on the mound for Friday. And then Scoble is going to pitch on Saturday. Skubal, coming up against Great Britain there as well.
So Logan Webb from the Giants?
Yes, Logan Webb's. And then Skubal there does go. That's going to be the one to watch. Now, how far does he go? He's stretched out enough.
Yeah, they'll only go an inning, like you said.
Yeah, that's the issue you got to worry about. But and he said he's only pitching once, so this is your chance for him.
Is that right? Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's like, whatever, man. They're playing in Houston. Some teams are playing in Miami. Puerto Rico has some games here. And then, of course, Tokyo coming up as well. You'll see a lot of those games if you want to wake up that early. Like the poor Czech Republic has to play Japan, Korea, and Taipei in Tokyo. Good luck, Czech Republic.
No kidding. Hey, now, you before we go to the break, you were talking about Devin Booker's back, and you also mentioned Haywood?
Yeah. Highsmith.
Highsmith.
Okay.
I know where else going to present.
Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah. Haywood Highsmith. Yeah, they signed him. They picked him up, of course. Everything has a knee injury all year. Got him in, the trade deadline moves and all that stuff to a lower deal, but he's going to get out there. And I'm not going to say he's going to be awesome on this team, but he's a body. He's a veteran presence, but he plays with a lot of energy, and he should fit in with this team. But seeing him on the court tonight, that extra body that could liven it. You brought up the point, it might have been during the break, that, can he take kind of the spot of Livers, who's kind of struggling a little bit? Goodwin's out. Can he fill in those types of roles while those guys are?
Yeah, look, I like the fact that the Suns have finally started giving some playing time to Rasheer Fleming. That's just not mop up, because he was very, very instrumental in their surprising win. I mean, I look. Did you see that coming? I said,
Yeah, I sat down at dinner and I said Lakers are gonna, or Suns are gonna win tonight. You both poo-pooed
yeah, you did.
me.
You know what? He did say that. You did say that. And,
but then he came back and said, "Yeah, I didn't really think."
Look. There is no way
I said it would be a
I was
closer
giving
game
the
than you think.
Suns even a remote
No,
chance.
you
to win
guys,
that
you guys
game.
were like, nope. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
I honestly, I didn't think they could win it. I thought it would be a closer game than you thought.
Yeah,
it would be,
and
to be honest
so
with you.
Rasheer, he's like 6'9". He has a 7'4" reach. He's athletic, and you know what? You just and even when you think that you can get your shot off, he bothers you. And so look, I've watched LeBron James and Luka Doncic really take advantage of our players defensively. That's why I love Dylan Brooks back, because Brooks gave them both crap. Yeah. But we didn't have him anymore, so I'm like, they're going to run a rough shot. I mean, Rasheer Fleming absolutely gave them fits. I mean, he made them work for it. And I'm like, dude, absolutely. So I love that. And I still want to see Kobe Brea play more. I mean, I think he's the best catch and shooter on the team.
Not getting any playing time.
Yeah, he's not. And so what he and this year I thought he could have developed what he needs to do. Like, there's going to be teams that are going to run him off that 3-point line. So he has to put the ball on the floor and be able to pull up for shots and stuff like that, like Booker and mid-range games. And that's where this kid struggles. He's a great catch and shoot shooter, but I mean, off the bounce, he still needs work. And I would have loved to have seen him, get more playing time this year relative to that. But I guess he's a young enough kid, and maybe he'll put in the work in the offseason and make that part of his game.
Let me tell you, from my viewpoint, if Jalen Green doesn't start playing better, this team will not reach the heights that we're hoping they do.
But Jalen Green has struggled. I will, and so I did read a quote from him, and it made sense that when he came back, he had a lot of leg, but now he's logging more minutes, and his legs are really, really heavy.
He's playing like he did with the Rockets, and that's why the Rockets wanted to unload.
Look. When you say Rockets, play like he did against the Rockets when they were in the playoffs, because the regular season, the kid was just spectacular.
This is playoff Green, is what we're seeing.
Yeah. We're seeing playoff Green
when he's
right
on
now.
the court.
Yeah, and that's not good. But I tell you what, the kid is super quick.
Yeah,
he's fast. He can get to the rim.
Unbelievable.
And he has a nice little handle, things like that. So he has all the tools there, but he just, I guess from a game standpoint, he just hasn't played enough. And now they're trying to give him minutes, and he says his legs feel really heavy. I get all that, but maybe with Booker's return,
that's what I'm going to say.
Because even Colin Gillespie, he's struggling. Like but
think about who they were just playing too. It gets easier here with the Kings tonight.
Yeah.
Pelicans, Hornets, Bulls are on the schedule here. I think Bulls are next. Raptors. So they have some easy games coming up here that hopefully they can rest some of those guys, get their legs. Plus, 5 days off now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time since they played last during the middle of the regular season.
Yeah, and I looked at their Suns schedule, and you're right. I mean, the next 6 games.
Yeah, Bulls are next.
I was looking at it. I said, man, Suns can, if they do this thing right, they have 34 wins now. They can be at 40 wins if they take care of business.
The Bucks aren't as easy as they were earlier in the season. Bucks are playing better, but that's the hardest team coming up. It is Kings, Bulls, Pelicans, Hornets, at the Bucks. Then you got at the Pacers, at the Raptors, then at the Celtics, Timberwolves, and Spurs. So then it gets hard again.
There's 3 games in a row right there that you say, wow, that's why the Suns need to really stock up on these.
Well, then you go Bucks again right after that. But that's the thing. You go win here. Look, they've been off for 5 days, and no damage has been against the Suns in the standings. I'm not going to change my opinion at all. Suns should be a 7th seed minimum going into the playoffs.
Well,
the Warriors are not playing.
It helped last night that the Warriors had like an 18-point lead, and I'm like, wow, they're going to win this. And then all of a sudden, here come those Rockets.
Yeah.
And they pulled off the win.
Golden State's better at home than they are on the road, but yeah, I mean, Suns should be a 7th seed now, and they can catch the Lakers. To be honest with you, if they get healthy guys back here. But you said? If Green doesn't start playing better, they're not going to get to the heights that we're expecting. What heights are you expecting?
Well, I think that I'm still thinking they should be a top 6 seed.
Yeah.
I think they should be a top 6 seed.
I actually agree with you.
There's some stuff going on in L.A.
Yeah.
The other night I saw Doncic get subbed in for. J.J. Redick reached out to give him 5, and Doncic intentionally avoided him and walked around
him.
and there's something going on in Lakersville.
Well, let me tell you something. There, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of talk coming out of L.A. is that Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James don't play well where they're on the floor together.
It's not talk. Stats are there, and if you watch, because I watch a lot of Lakers games, they look downright terrible when all three of them are on the court.
The players are hearing this. They're starting to believe it.
Yeah,
they're starting to believe it, and so it's in their heads now.
But now, Luke, after every game, Luka's saying things like, "Well, I have personal problems" and stuff to that effect. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it comes off as an excuse on why he can't play on the basketball court.
I know Byron Scott, former ASU Sun Devil, former Laker great that was Showtime Lakers. He came out on a podcast and said, "This needs to be LeBron James last year." He said, LeBron's got to go. He said, LeBron,
he's going to be done. He's going to be out of that.
Yeah.
This new owner wants nothing to do with
he's
him.
blaming LeBron for this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mix.
Well, last year, LeBron and Luka didn't like playing together. And I can guarantee you, Luka's problems are more LeBron than it is J.J. Redick.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you something. I was watching the Lakers. Who were the Lakers playing? I can't remember who they were playing.
You talking about the end of the game?
Yeah. So it came. The ball went to Luka.
Games ago. It was before the Suns game.
Luka was open for a 3
to win
it. You know what? He hesitated. He passed it off to LeBron. LeBron had to really throw up a fade at the end and he missed it. And the Lakers lost. Yeah. And so Luka's going off, pulling his shirt up, and the announcers even said, "I thought he was going to take it because when he caught the ball, Dale." He was open for a 3. He turned it down.
Yeah, well, that's what
I'm like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then after the game, LeBron's like, "I don't know what's going on, Luka. He should have shot that." So they're openly criticizing each other.
Yeah, it's something. And so today, something is amiss.
Well, that's what I've been saying for like the last month. That's why I think the Suns can catch the Lakers. Is there's internal strife in that locker room, and I do believe the new owners don't care about LeBron. They don't care that he's there. So he's going to be obviously the guy shipped out after the season. And I think LeBron knows it, so he's going to pout a little bit about that.
Well, he'll go back to Cleveland. I don't know if Cleveland will take him back, but I mean that's his
Could you imagine we're going to ruin that Cleveland squad by bringing LeBron back?
Yeah, because they got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell there now, and so
but Mitchell's probably leaving after this year. Everything I read says Mitchell wants out of Cleveland.
I heard that with Harden in, he's
did he? Oh, is that why? Okay, that might change then. Okay. Because I've been reading all along that he just hates Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland a lot, guys, and trust me, I hate it too. Yeah. The mistake by the lake for a reason.
So Devin Booker's back. What do you think that means for the Suns, Dale? What do we expect tonight?
Tonight I expect a victory.
I'm talking about from Booker. Does Booker struggle in his return, or does he look good? I mean, because you got to rework that chemistry.
Yeah, well, to me, that's what I want to start seeing. I want to see that Devin Booker can raise Jalen Green's game, because I do not believe that the Suns can reach whatever their ceiling is with Jalen Green struggling. And so I'd love to see that. Now, will take place tonight? Maybe not, but I'd like to see them start taking steps where you see them enjoy playing together, anticipating things, being on the same page, and having fun out there playing basketball. Because for a little bit there, that Suns team that we fell in love with, hustling, playing defense, and having fun.
When you lose key players like Brooks and Goodwin, I mean, it's going to have a trickle-down effect because those guys, along with Gillespie, really brought it.
Yeah.
Hey, Arizona winning the Big 12 outright. Your just thoughts on that?
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not there. But you know what? I don't get what. Did you catch Tommy Lloyd's comments afterward? I mean, what's this dude trying to talk about? He's trying to say that they call his team soft.
Yeah.
Dude, stop it.
Yeah, he's turned into Lou Holtz. where every team's a formidable foe and they could lose to them.
Dude, I mean, I don't know of any look the
Nobody's
narrative
calling them
on this U of A teams, they don't shoot enough threes.
Yeah.
They do everything in the paint. They're a physical team. And this dude gonna talk about people are out there saying their team is soft.
How do you motivate?
Dude,
How do you motivate kids?
Stop it.
How do you motivate kids? Is the
Okay.
question, I guess.
Okay,
Right?
you know, look, I wouldn't have gone that route. I mean, look, between Awaka and Krivats, I mean, that team is very much a physical team.
Well, getting the kid back that was sick, I just forgot his name. Arande?
Aristod.
Yeah, him. Yes, thank you. I'm like, wow, his name. Getting him back with the combination of Koa Pete back healthy. They're a physical team. This team.
There's nothing soft about them.
No,
I'm like, dude, what the
This
freak are you
team,
saying?
dare I say it, should coast to a Final Four appearance.
Well, hey, look, I'm not going to go that far
I will.
because even though they have the talent to do that, but I mean, I've been hearing from U of A fans. You know what they're saying? They're fearing because they've seen it happen too often.
Yeah.
They're fearing that early exit.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm saying this team should be a Final Four team. Will they?
I
agree with Arizona fans. They could be one and done.
Yeah. Look. If I were to pick a Final Four team, it would definitely be Arizona, Duke, Michigan, and I'm wide open on that fourth team. I might even throw Florida back in there because they're starting to play really well.
Yeah,
now.
Florida's up to 5 now. Yeah, they're rocking and rolling right now. Florida is. But no, I mean Michigan, Duke, and Arizona should be Final Four teams. Period. And so they're heads and above everybody else. Like you said, Florida's playing the way to it. Purdue's going to be a threat, even though they've been up and down all year. Stuff like that, but it's going to be something. But if they're not a Final Four team this year, this is going to go down as the epic underperformance of a U of A squad.
Well, I've seen it before under Lute Olson. I mean, he had some great teams. And they were the number 1 overall seed, and they flamed out. So I get where Arizona fans are.
It's all about matchup. They're going to struggle with a team that can shoot a lot of threes and score a lot of points quickly. I think that's going to be their struggle. They'll dominate teams that have to play in the paint because of their size and physicality. But if they go up against a team that can just launch threes and make them, I think they're going to be in for a huge battle.
Well, the other thing is when you have a fan base, it feels like snake bit a little bit. And you're going to go into every game with a little trepidation. Like, can we get past this opening round game? It should be a cakewalk, but we've showed in the past
they're going to be the number
not
one.
a cakewalk.
They're going to be the number 1 overall seed. I have a feeling when all said is done, if they do, they're supposed to do it well.
Look, we've seen those. Look, they even had the team where they had a guy named Rustic, a guy named Rustic, and DeAndre Ayton. I mean, they played Buffalo in the first round.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo beat them. And look, I remember Cam Cox and our crew went out there and said, well, look, you guys, we even plotted the next region and stuff like that. Well, where you guys can, because you know, we
get your plane tickets booked.
We're trying to get the hotels. Man, they lost to Buffalo.
It's your fault. You planned that far ahead. That was your fault. Hey, speaking of Cam Cox, I saw over the weekend during the combine. But man, he is in love with love. Just like you. Are you telling him stuff?
Let me tell you why Cam's in love with love. Because he called me over the weekend. I sent him my draft just like I did you.
Yeah.
And so, and because they see it every year, I do it every year, and I always tell them, I said, man, I love writing them because my picks are always better than the Cardinals themselves. I mean, it doesn't get him. So he called me and he says, because he doesn't really follow that stuff.
Yeah. He
called me and says, hey, I'm with you now. I want love. I said, Cam, we both know that the Cardinals aren't going to do that. We both know. But I said, Cam, this is what I want you to do, Cam. I want you to go back and look at that draft. I want you to look at the 4th round. There's a guy named Brennan Thompson that I said might be the fastest player in the draft. You know what the dude did? Ran a 4.26 40. Was the fastest player in the combine. So, hey, look. I just know the Cardinals aren't going to do any of the things that I said. I just know.
Well, now that Fanu, whatever his name is, only had 32 arm reach, he's going to fall now. So.
Spencer Fano. Well,
Yeah, so maybe that moves Love up.
well, hey, look, I'm convinced that there's a lot of our local media that I've heard them they're all about Francis Manawago or either Spencer Fano.
Yeah.
They like the offensive line. Now there's some who like David Bailey or
But Bailey's going to go 2 probably.
or Arvell Reese. I mean, and I'm just like, dude, you guys are gonna miss the boat again. You don't have a running game, period. And so, and a nice running game can certainly benefit your defense because they're not back on. But this kid, Love, Jeremiah Love, like I said in my little bio, little sketch that I put out there. Not only is he and he ran a by the way, and the reason why I'm starting to hit Cam called me, he ran a 4.36 40.
Oh, he was all over Twitter. I saw he was all over Twitter. Oh, this guy's going to be the next Cardinals pick, and I went, he's stuck.
Well, and let me tell you something. They wasn't anyone saying that beforehand. It was all, the fact that he went out and ran a 4.36. That lets me know that hey, they haven't been watching to begin with. But here's the deal: the kid has fantastic hands out of the backfield. If you love Bijan Robinson, if you love Christian McCaffrey, running backs who can get it done via the handoff or in the pass game, you'll love Jeremiah Love. And Love also has this like this little spin game. He has this little spin. He can be running, and then you think you haven't. He has this like 180 spin. And I've just seen him take too many. He made too many house calls. He's a guy that he can make a house call anytime the ball's in his hand.
Yeah,
so,
they went where?
Huh?
He went where?
Notre Dame fighter.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But here's the deal. But if you look at my draft, he's not the only Notre Dame player I'm drafting.
No, you have a bunch of them. Yeah,
I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
But here's it. I'm getting Love's backup, Jadarian Price. That's who I was taking in the second round. With their second round pick, first
2?
Love, in second round, because I'm telling you, this kid Price, he's if you love the combination of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in Detroit, though Montgomery's been traded to the Texans now, you'll love and Price.
What if Breece Hall doesn't get tagged today and he's a free agent going into the season? You like bringing in a veteran here?
No. Do not. I'm all about. Look.
Well, Trey Benson's going to come back.
See, I'm not afraid to lean on draft picks, and because I tell people this all the time. I have no skill, no talent. The only skill and talent I have is recognizing skill and talent of people who do have it. And I'm telling you, I won't be wrong about this. Only thing that can hurt Jeremiah Love is injury.
The 2 things that came out this weekend with the combine, we're getting into lying season, but all these national media guys come out and going, oh, now we're here and Kyler Murray's going to be released because there's no trade pay. I've been telling you, everybody, for the last 2 months, 3 months? Kyler Murray's not being traded. He's going to be released because nobody's going to trade for him coming up here. But then the other, go ahead.
Well, again, that would be another colossal mistake by the Cardinals to let him go. There is not a quarterback in free agency. There's not a quarterback in this draft.
That's
There's
what
not a quarterback
says.
that you can trade for that's going to be better than Kyler Murray. People, let me tell you something. The man has over 3,000 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns. That's just his legs. I'm not even talking about his 21,000 passing yards and 121 touchdown passes. The dude, he just needs better players around him. Yes, that's all he needs. Give him better play. Hit the best quartet of players he's ever had. I'll take you back to 2021. He has some guy named DeAndre Hopkins, an all-league receiver. He was paired with Christian Kirk, A.J. Green, and some tight end named Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has been a stellar player for many years. His running backs, Chase Edmonds and James Conner.
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, they shared the backfield. Cardinals were 7-0, 10-2 until DeAndre Hopkins went down. And I'm telling you, they went 1-5 the rest of the way, and Kyler and Hop never really were able to play again. Hop missed the first 6 games of the following year because of PED use, and then Kyler tore his ACL. Give this man some better playmakers, you'll have a better team.
Go ahead.
Just like Matthew Stafford. couldn't get it done in Detroit. He comes to L.A. with some guy named Cooper Kupp, some guy named Robert Woods, some guy named Todd Gurley. I mean, all of a sudden, they're Super Bowl freaking champions, people.
And a coach.
Yeah, hey, that makes a difference too, Dale.
And a coach.
And I'll tell you what, Drew Petzing, he's going to do extremely well in Detroit. You know why?
Running game.
Well, yeah, because he has a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. He has a guy named Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, that offensive line.
Offensive line's decimated. Another guy's
here's the deal.
retired.
Lions have a first-round pick. It'll be used on an offensive line. See, here's the deal. See, the Lions have skill position players. So they're a team that can go draft an offensive lineman in the first round. They can even sign another one in free agency.
I've been reading a lot. Kyler Murray to the Jets. That actually surprised me because we talked last week about hand size and cold weather and stuff like that. And everything. I mean, if Kyler Murray goes to the Vikings, watch out. You're going to see a resurgence Kyler Murray with the Vikings.
Why? Because they got a guy named Justin Jefferson and Addison Reed.
And a running game on top of it. Yeah,
and a coach.
And a coach. That is a quarterback whisperer.
Now, well, do you think Kyler's foot will be healed by next year?
Well, it depends. He's going to take a ball off his face.
Here's the deal. I truly believe this. I do believe that Kyler wants out. And so when I heard that him and Austin Fort hadn't been speaking since the end of the season or whatever, I was like, man, that sounds awful like DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams.
I got more info on that. We want to say it on air? Not reporting anything, just what I've heard. Austin Fort's the one that benched Kyler Murray.
Okay.
That's where the decision came from. And there's proof behind it if you want to believe it, because I went back and looked. When Jonathan Gannon got fired, Kyler Murray put out a best coach or great coach to work with and stuff to that effect. And Pensing moved on. Oh, Pensing, I loved working with Pensing and stuff like that. Austin Fort and the executives of the Cardinals, might not be Austin Fort, but somebody in the executive on the Cardinals said it's time to move on from Kyler Murray, and that's how the process.
Well, see, and I keep saying
I believe
this.
that.
I keep saying this. Kyler gives you the best chance to win.
Absolutely.
If you put the right people out on the floor.
When you release somebody and they become the number one free agent on the market, like Kyler Murray is going to, you're letting some talent go.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers, just his numbers alone, dude. 3,000 yards rushing, 32 touchdowns. That's just with his legs. I'm not even talking with his arm. So if I now have a running game. Like again, you go back to Chase Edmonds and James Conner when they shared their backfield. I mean, that was a good 1-2 combo. Cardinals haven't had anything like that since. I mean, Chase Edmonds went ahead and signed free agency, I believe, with the Dolphins from that. And I know James Conner had some seasons in which he rushed for maybe 18 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah. The offense ran through him.
But the dude is finished.
Yeah, with this foot injury.
You can say I believe Connor's coming back. The dude will be 32 years old, people. Yeah. I mean, time to move on. Time to move on.
Especially as physical as he runs.
By the way, Breece Hall's officially been tagged. Robert let me know that they did. We thought it was coming, but I just thought I'd get your opinion. So that's
look. I like Breece Hall. I like Breece, but the guy has had an ACL, and I give him all the credit in the world for bouncing back. Look, he was one of the top running backs when he was healthy.
To me, he's too small. Yeah. He can't take the beating with the size of him, I think.
Well, what the Jets need to do, they need to find a complementary back. I mean, that's where the NFL has evolved to is a 1-2 punch. I mean, you look at what Seattle had. I mean, they're the Super Bowl champions. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet did tear his ACL.
Yeah. And now Walker wants out because of the two system. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, I bet they'll tag him. I bet Seattle tag him.
He's not on the tag list. Yeah, Robert also says it doesn't matter who the running back is. I'm sorry, he says 2 running backs. Coop started drinking early today.
Hey, I'm fine. Look. At Channel 12, they call it Coop's Island because I'm on my island alone. No one joins me, and that's fine. But I tell you, time after time after time, my picks. Look. I'll go back to 2023. Last time we were in this situation, Cardinals had the 3rd overall pick. I was touting Bijan Robinson. That's the guy. They said, Coop, it's too early to take a run. I said, no, it's not. I said, I brought up the Emmitt Smith stuff. Look, guy dropped 18, and now I think he's an all-time leading rusher in the NFL. I mean, come on, man. If you redraft it, people will be taking him 1 overall. I don't mind telling you Bijan Robinson got. And look, let me tell you something. Guess who was the leading rusher this past season in the NFL? Oh, it happened to be Bijan Robinson. Guess who led the NFL in total yards from scrimmage? Oh, that would be Bijan Robinson. Do you think the Cardinals could? And I watched the Falcons sandpaper the Cardinals with Bijan Robinson on the Sunday afternoon.
They took him out of the game a lot. I can't figure out why they kept taking him out of the game.
They try to keep him fresh. They had that 1-2 punch with the running back from BYU. I can't think of. I'm losing his name. Tyler Algier.
But then they got those receivers that can make some plays.
Yeah, they do. Like they do. And so. But my point is, and the Cardinals drafted. They drafted some guy named Paris Johnson. Now, look, Paris Johnson's a nice player, but when you go look at your all-league teams, your all-pros, Dale knows what an all-pro is. Yeah. It's the best of the best. There's a running back named Bijan Robinson who was all-pro. There is also a Cardinals had a chance. A lot of people had mocked Will Anderson at Cardinals. Well, Will Anderson just happened to be all-pro. And I'm not taking any shots at Paris Johnson. Now, Paris Johnson wasn't even Pro Bowler. But that doesn't mean anything. A lot of times that's popularity anyway. But he's just you're not going to get any difference makers when you're devoid of skill and talent, impact players on your off, and that's what the Cardinals lack.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you on that.
And they're going to get talent though. Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, or Malik Willis. Which one?
Hey, let me tell you something. If you look at every one of their stats, they don't even stack up to Kyler's.
Oh,
I just happen to look at Jimmy G. Jimmy G
played 2 years.
Jimmy G has 86 career touchdown passes versus 82 career touchdown passes versus 42 career interceptions. That's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Kyler's at 121 and 60.
But Jimmy G hasn't started that much.
But Jimmy has played. Kyler's played 86 games, and Jimmy's. It was like over 75.
Is it that many?
Yeah.
Because there was New England and then 2 years in San Fran, and then that's pretty much it, right? Oh, Oakland. I forgot about, or LA, or Vegas, I guess I should say.
So, but my point is that he can't. He's not that dual threat. He doesn't have those numbers running the ball. No. Why? And Malik Willis has 4 games now or 5 games in Green Bay that he's looked pretty good in, but there's a whole season in Tennessee, a whole couple seasons in Tennessee where he looked like garbage.
The other side is you're looking at $30 million minimum probably to sign him.
Right, and here's the deal. See, Malik was able to get it done with Green Bay because they have better skill position players. In Tennessee, they were devoid of that.
Right.
He comes to Arizona. Arizona's devoid of that unless they start taking care of business and doing something about it.
What's it going to say when Marv comes in, either buffer or more chubby this year? I guess we'll have to look at that.
Well, I do believe that that things will only go up for Marvin Harrison. He's just too good of a talent to do this. I think now that Michael Wilson has developed or mushroomed. And you see a guy like Trey McBride doing it. I think it's less pressure, and I'm only guessing. I don't know what it is that it causes a man of his pedigree to drop passes at an alarming rate. I'm believing it's more mental than anything.
They're gonna move him to the slot and give him a lot, so he won't have to think as much.
Well, I've drafted Mekhi Lemon. I picked up a second first round pick to get Mekhi Lemon.
But I think that's what's going to happen to get him more integrated, not have to think as much on the outside.
Yeah.
We're done for the day. Dale?
Yes.
You done?
I'm done.
Bruce?
Well, when you get me talking about the draft, I can go all day.
I know. That's why we got to cut you off.
That's why you got to kick me out of here.
Go Suns.
Appreciate you coming in. Suns, 9 o'clock tonight, guys. Dale, watch this game tonight and report tomorrow on what happens.
I'll let you know what happens in the first half.
I'll be face down in my pillow by then. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. McCollum on Business already posted. Check that out as well. And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody, here at the Main Events